If something happens and the traveler thinks it was Scaramouche, but it actually was somebody else. And then the traveler decides that Scaramouche is beyond help and she kills him and then finds out it wasn't him. Maybe he got Anemo because he has a dead friend. Okay. Okay, wait, if Child's Delusion is Electro, then they can't just have Scaramouche's also be Electro. That's really lame. So his should be something else. So Scaramouche's base element should be Electro, and then his delusion is Anemo, right? Because Senora's was Pyro. That was her delusion, right? No, or Cryo. Frick, whatever. Anyways, it's different from Electro, so it wouldn't make sense for Scaramouche's delusion to be Electro when Child's is Electro, and it would just literally be stupid if Scaramouche has no affiliation with the Electro ability. So his whole story teaser was like Electro themes in it or whatever, so it just makes sense for him to be Electro with like a Anemo delusion. I'm still holding out hope that Scaramouche's base ability is going to be Electro. I'm still gonna hold on to that and pray. Scara would be Electro, right? But the problem is, like, leakers are saying that he's Anemo, which is why I disagree. I wonder why they chose Anemo over Electro. I hope it's not because of the release of Cyno. Dang, that would be stupid. I hope not. That would be stupid because not everybody wants Cyno. And Cyno and Scaramouche are gonna have totally different play styles because I'm pretty sure Scaramouche is gonna be Catalyst, so I don't know. I feel like he should be I think everybody agrees. Everybody agrees on that simply. Nobody thinks he should be Anemo because that literally just doesn't make sense. I feel like the leakers are trolling with us, honestly. He's from the land of Electro. He's created. Yeah! I said this multiple times. It literally just doesn't make sense because if A was making a puppet of herself, which I don't even know why she would make a male puppet or whatever. You're trying to make a puppet of yourself. But I guess it was just a test run. You'd think that your test run would try to look close to what you look like, but whatever. Anyways, we'll just— why would you make a test puppet a totally different element? That just doesn't make sense. You're literally the Archon, Electro Archon. Why would you test, like, let's test using Anemo, even though I'm trying to make an Electro puppet? It just doesn't make sense. Unless something happened and Scaramouche was granted an Anemo vision later on. Like, maybe— no, that doesn't make sense because it doesn't— like, the Raiden Shogun doesn't have a vision, right? So that means the puppet doesn't have a vision either, but then the puppet still somehow has Electro powers, so that means that Scaramouche should innately have Electro powers. Not that he needs a vision to even use Electro, right? The puppet doesn't have a vision, right? I hope it's a massive troll by the leakers. Scara should be Electro— right? Right? Why would the gods or gods give him an Anemo? Right? It just doesn't make sense. I guess he's free after being abandoned by his mother.
My mother.
The Shogun doesn't have a vision. Yeah, so the Shogun puppet innately has Electro powers, so Scaramouche should also just have Electro. He shouldn't have a vision unless it's a delusion. They would have to really think of like a different storyline to justify him having Anemo powers, though. Like, maybe when the Raiden Shogun was doing her testing, she didn't try doing any powers first, so maybe he didn't have powers, and either he's using only his delusion, which is maybe an Anemo delusion, maybe he's only using that to fight, or he literally was given an Anemo vision at some point after going through whatever he went through. I don't know. I guess that's still possible, but maybe he got Anemo because he has a dead friend. Okay. We never saw a vision on his person throughout the story. Yeah, that's why I don't know if he'd be able to like manipulate the elements through his body, but like I said before, just like how the puppet for Raiden Shogun doesn't have a vision, neither would he. But then the Raiden Shogun's puppet can use Electro, right? So then it would make sense that Scaramouche uses Electro as his like ability. That's why the default option is for him to be Electro. Was playing Apex to answer the Senora element. Okay. Were you listening while you were playing and you were like, I need to finish this so I could tell Chokopii the answer? I think she was Pyro, then had to have a cryo delusion to cool down her heart because she was out of control. Is that legit? Or you just wanted to come up with some cool idea? Anyways, yeah. I petition to have Scaramouche be Electro. Either that, or if miHoYo is developing a ability to switch between elements, that would be very cool. Just like how Child can switch between bow and sword or whatever the heck he uses. It'd be really cool if you could like switch between the Delusion and Vision for Harbinger characters. Remember Chokopii, the story writers are not afraid to kill off— No! They have done it in the past, and at some point they did kill off every one of the old game characters. No, if they do that, I'm not playing the game anymore. But I'm pretty sure it's confirmed that Scaramouche is going to be playable at some point, though. Like, with Senora, it was kind of just dead silence, whereas Scaramouche was like a lot of leakers saying that he is going to be playable. He's going to get like a redesign and stuff. So I don't think, if they are going to kill him off at some point, it's not going to be anytime soon, I think. It's quite possible he could get off by the Traveler if desperate times with desperate measures, but that depends on if Skira is a danger that needs to be put down. Just food for thought. Okay, I don't want this to happen, but that would be super cool if— oh my god, that'd be super cool. This is the situation. I don't want this to happen, but I'm just gonna fantasize about it for a second. If if the Traveler gets to a point where she's trying to help Scaramouche get better, you know, like they're working with him and he's like starting to go to the good side, and then something happens and he switches and they're like, we don't want to kill you, and he's like, I don't care. I'm doing a terrible job of explaining this, and he's like, no, I can't do this anymore, and then Traveler has to kill him, and then it's just a bunch of sadness, and he's like, I'm sorry, I couldn't be good enough, and the Traveler's like, you're good enough, and then he dies. In my head, it looks really epic and cool, but I'm sorry, I really butchered explaining my idea in my head. Basically, yeah, and you guys get it. You guys get it. Just take my idea and think about it in a serious matter. I think it'd be pretty cool. Scaramouche is on his redemption arc and then something happens, and oh my god, the coolest part would be if something happens and the Traveler thinks it was Scaramouche, but it actually was somebody else. And then the Traveler decides that Scaramouche is beyond help and she kills him and then finds out it wasn't him. Okay, I don't think that's what they're gonna do, but that would be really juicy. Not gonna lie. This isn't a soap opera, but I only thought that way because I don't want Scaramouche to be a one-dimensional villain at this point. Like, I don't want his backstory to be complicated and sad and then have his current character arc be static and shallow. Like, I want the depth of his character to continue on. Like, Senora, we didn't know anything about her. She was a nobody, so we didn't really care to see her have like a redemption arc or, you know, something like that. We didn't really care about that. So when she died, it was like shocking, but like we didn't really feel upset about it. Whereas with Scaramouche, I would hope that his character as a villain has depth to it, and it's not just a matter of like, he's irredeemable, let's just kill him off, you know? Like, I want there to be some like depth in the reasoning and stuff. Hot twist. Choco writing fanfiction. I really want to start writing fanfiction. I actually made an account on, is it AO3 and Wattpad? But I heard Wattpad is not a very good. You know what? Maybe I will write Scaramouche fanfiction. Just watch me. Choco fanfics I will read ASAP. Oh my god, really? That makes me feel embarrassed. Let me write them first and see how they do, and if they pop off, I'll tell you guys and you can go read them. If they flop, then I'm not telling you guys about them. That's so funny. I'm not very good at writing. I'm very mediocre, like I am with literally everything I do in my life. Anyways, that's the end of my Scaramouche rant, unless you guys want to add more sense in.